That was a shot at somebody?
Of course, that's what the internet ran with.
Of course it's a shot though, otherwise
Like who else is he who else are you talking about?
It can only be one. It can't be multiple.
Who's he getting that shot at? He getting that shot at? He only comes around every 7 years? Maxwell? Adele? Who you talking shit?
He's still in the Drake collaboration.
You know who you talking to though, right?
Yes, of course.
Who you talking to? Who you talking to?
Why do you guys gotta make me say? You already know what it is.
Who you talking to?
Oh man, Rap Life Review, I'm Ebro. That's Low, that's Nadeska. We are coming together weekly courtesy of Apple Music to have discussions about the goings on in rap, in music, in the culture of hip hop. This week, we got a lot of Drake. We also got the big topic. You know, everybody in hip hop so spoiled. Hip hop hasn't had a #1 album in 2023.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. So, you know, we gotta get into that. But let's start with the new drops, which one is on pace to have the #1 album this week. And while we're having this convo, the results aren't out yet. Pink Tapes, Lil Uzi Vert. I have all his little fans, all his little fanboys in my comment.
Yeah, they've been on your neck this week.
They've been on my neck.
I mean,
yo,
ever
by the way,
since that.
they've been mad at me for 7 joints. 7 years.
That
and
happened,
we're finally here.
That happened 7 years ago?
I think it was like 7 years ago, maybe 5, maybe.
Can I ask you a question?
Huh.
Why you asking him to do that?
Freestyle? Because he's a rapper.
No, I mean like over
a mass appeal beat? Because you're supposed to be nice. You should be able to rap on anything.
Okay.
And literally anything. He didn't want to,
right?
Which is fine. So we'll see where this goes. You think you better than the culture? Let's see where this goes.
We'll see where this goes. I think it's going pretty well for him.
I think it's going great.
Clearly, it looks like it's going.
It's going great.
Yeah.
It's going great. But on that, is there any standout tracks that y'all love off the Uzi Vert?
Particularly not any standout. Uzi is very.
But you're a rap critic, man. You should be in these.
No, I am, but like it's a big album for Uzi. Let me just go on the record and say I'm not the biggest Uzi fan, so this
How
album.
come though?
It's not my thing.
But he nice with it though.
Yo, are you just
like, bro? No, I get it. I understand the impact. I understand the influence that Uzi has amongst his peers, amongst his fans.
Don't let him press you like that.
But I'm still saying that like that. This shit's not for me. You know, I gave it a listen. I gave it a whirl. I pushed it to the side. That's good. It looks like it's on pace to be #1.
Yeah,
first #1 album.
Big deal.
2023.
Prove me wrong, man.
But I'm allowed to say like,
He's still
hey,
here, baby.
They say for me.
Right.
What's your thought? Like, what you think about?
I think it's one of his best projects. I actually have a few Uzi Vert favorite songs that he's put out. Like I really love the one with him and Pharrell. I think that was a couple of albums ago.
Yeah.
I think he got a hit on his hands, a potential pop hit on his hands with the one with Nicki Minaj.
That's the one that I feel like that's gonna be like.
That's doing well.
Yeah.
I think that's the one.
He's also got another one on there, filling up the face or filling something. But then I like his rock shit on there. He got some rock shit on there, some metal shit on the project that I really think he did a great job. He did a cover on the album. I think it was is it a Soundgarden cover? No, is that Soundgarden?
There's like a System of a Down cover,
the
Chop Suey, which is a huge song back in the day.
He redid Chop Suey in his own way, which is a huge hit. So I love that he's leaning into that. His rock star, that's what he always set out to be. He proclaimed he was gonna be it.
I mean, we saw the transition of him doing that just over from time to time.
But even when me and him had the debate, it was he was like, I'm gonna be a rock star. Like it was in his mind. That's where he
already
going.
declared that 7 to 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's living up to that right now.
Yeah,
I mean, I think he's the only artist in that pocket who's really owning it right now. To your point, so listening to the album is a lot. I can't say like I have specific standouts because he's doing everything. It's like trap, it's like punk, you know what I mean? It's metalcore. I saw someone said there's a song that's industrial witchcore. It's like, I don't even know what that means. But I don't think there's many rappers who could put out a project like this.
Right.
So it feels like he tried to put like every single thing that's ever influenced him in one album, which is definitely a lot to listen to over 26 tracks. But I'll spend more time with it. Just got to shout out to Uzi. Like a lot of people can't do what he does.
And then he announced Love is Rage 3.
He said, I guess if people run this up,
Oh, so I guess we'll see this.
Taylor Swift's the only thing standing in his way for him going to #1, which we'll get the results, I'm sure, at some point this week, and people are going to celebrate, and then I'll have his people in my comments again saying that he proved me wrong, And I think, you know, I will say this. I like being proven wrong.
If you pull up, I'm telling you right now, if you pull out one of them old beats, I'm not rapping on it. Straight up. You see me, bro? I am a rock star, bro. I'm not rapping on that type stuff.
We'll decide when you're a rock star.
Let me hear it, and I'm letting you know. Hey, listen. It's gonna be a lot of young guys coming up here, and they ain't gonna want to rap on that. I'm trying to tell you, it's changing.
Yo, look,
it's changing.
I hope they change.
It's changing, bro.
I hope they change. But as I've seen with all you little young motherfuckers that think you nice.
Yeah.
He is pretty nice. You nice.
Yeah, I'm good.
Y'all get to like 27, 28, and y'all niggas get to struggling, and y'all be trying to come back
tell
and
you
find
what,
that sound.
I ain't gonna struggle, bro.
All right, we're gonna see.
I think for the artists and the music, like especially somebody like Uzi Vert, who's trying to push music to a different place,
Right.
I like that gets achieved.
Yeah.
You know, whether I think it's gonna be you or I think you have the wherewithal to stick in there. You know, a lot of people don't know when he came to the show many years ago, that's Drama's artist. So that's my boy's artist at the time. So I knew I know what Drama's capable of. I know what their camp's capable of. And I knew they would have never signed someone
That they didn't think.
that they didn't think had that potential to have potential to have a
Even
real
if it wasn't
long
freestyle.
runway.
I mean, would you have asked Kid Cudi like early in his career to freestyle? He probably wouldn't have done it. Like to me, he's never been that artist, but he's in the same vein to me that like Uzi is.
just
In
been-
terms of
Kid
being
Kid
alternative.
Cudi's not a proclaimed like rapper. At that point when Uzi Vert was coming in, people was talking about how great of a rapper he was.
And you wanted
I wanted
proof
to
and
see.
evidence.
So I wanted to throw on something that is a universal classic, see what he would do with it. But I think he was taking his stand at that time to be like, no, I don't want to do things your way.
Right.
I don't want to, and a lot of artists that we even like when we talk about Drake and people's hip hop's frustration.
There are a lot of artists that do things unconventionally based on the things that they saw previously.
And based on what they want to do creatively, not what
Where their heart
the
is.
gatekeepers
Yeah,
or the culture says they should be doing.
Right.
But you got to respect that too, because that's hip hop,
100%.
right? All of hip hop is based in and around this idea that I'm gonna take something and do something new with it, whether the was it like the infrastructure or the system says
shaking
I
the
can
table.
or
You're
cannot.
shaking the table.
Shaking the table, and that's what Uzi Vert has done and continues to do. And he took his time, and he's making his money. He's hitting all his marks, and I think the next measure for him will be the headlining sold out tour.
Yeah.
Right.
And the I mean, Just Wanna Rock is a universal hit, but to have like a list of transcendent hits.
Like that set list that we were like, yeah, that one,
Well,
that
just
one, that one.
mainstream. I mean, his fans, he got a set list.
No, yeah, but like I guess
I'm
like
saying
to the
for
mainstream.
everybody else
yeah,
that's kind of outside of his core fan base, like a Drake. You now, if we having this convo, you're gonna compare an Uzi Vert to a Drake as far as success, not stylistically, but as far as what success looks like. Drake is the standard for what success, present day hip hop success looks like. Right.
But he's been more consistent. That's the only thing.
Who's this?
Drake than Uzi in terms of like giving
At
us
this point,
projects,
yeah,
right?
of
But then
course,
if he
yeah.
drops this next project that's 3, Love Is Rage 3,
Yeah, that comes out. It's
Maybe-
supposed to come out if he goes number 1. It's supposed to come out in November.
maybe that's the one with the more mainstream hits ahead of the tour.
No, this one got joints. This one has joints on it too. Love Is Rage. I mean, like to your point, I think he just Uzi Vert. It's about now what kind of does he even want to be? And knowing him, he don't want to be like Drake. He
Right.
might only come around once every 3 years or something. You know what I mean? He don't want to be on the kind of on that
Hiatus.
charting hustle like a Drake is. You know,
Constantly, yeah.
Drake measures himself on hits. Like, period. Clearly since 2009. Like every year I'm gonna have top 10 records. That's
Drake said something very interesting at one of his concerts, because you know it's all the Blur tours going on right now. He was like, "I'm not one of these guys that waits 3 to 4 to 5 years to come out. I'm hitting you all the time," and I felt like that was
a shot at somebody?
Of course, that's what the internet ran with.
Of course it's a shot though. Otherwise,
like who else is he who else he
you
talking about?
It can only be one. It can't be multiple.
Who's he
people.
getting
He's
that
talking
shot
Who's he
at?
at?
He getting that shot at? Who only comes around every 7 years? Maxwell? Adele? Who you talking shit
Sade's
to?
still on the Drake collaboration.
You know who you talking
wish
to, though,
list.
right?
Yes, of course.
Who you talking
of
to? Who you talking to?
course. Why do you guys gotta make me say? You already
Who's
know what
asking?
it is.
Who you talking to?
I think you're talking to Pusha again.
I think he's talking to Kendrick.
Oh, Kendrick.
Oh, but we're not even agreed on who it was. I thought it was unanimously
See,
one
I didn't-
person.
Oh, I don't think. Nah, it's not Pusha.
It can't be Pusha. He had an album out last year.
Yeah, but he doesn't come out every year.
I don't think it was him.
I mean, last time he got an album from Kendrick was what, 18?
Yeah, it could be Kendrick too.
What about Cole? Nah, it's not
Nah,
Cole.
that's
Cole's
his
more
boy.
frequent.
That's
Cole's
his
more
boy, though.
frequent.
They're
That's his
friends.
people.
So it's Kendrick.
Kendrick, going with Kendrick. All in favor?
I'm not
Say
voting.
aye.
I'm not voting.
You're not voting. So anyway, you got the Uzi Vert. You got Lil TJ.
Yeah.
He dropped a single. Lil Baby dropped a single, which I want to shout out Lil Baby and Michael Rubin and the whole Fanatics team.
Yeah.
And then Cardi B back out on another rapper song. FendiDa Rapper was having a moment on TikTok with this. I think it's "Point Me to the Sluts," and then Cardi B jumped in threw a verse on. It's called "Point Me To," which took over the timelines and all the
Bro, I
socials.
see that
over the
video
holiday.
like 5 times a day on the.
Right,
I'm not
it's
even
going
on
crazy.
like that yet.
Can we call her the feature queen right now?
Cardi, getting a Cardi features a moment. I mean, Nicki done been having features too now.
Yeah,
Nicki
but
been having features too.
I'm not saying, but this run she's on right now.
Yeah, I think now, you know, after it's where's your material?
Right.
That's the next question for Cardi.
She's
like
trying to
the features are
distract us from
fire.
that,
I
yeah.
love it. But now,
Does she need?
because Drake could have been talking about Cardi B.
All right. He knows.
Cardi B ain't put an album out 5 joints.
Drake is not wild enough to take a shot at Cardi B. Come on.
You don't
That's
want
where he
that
would
smoke?
draw the line. At
You don't
Cardi,
want that
yeah,
smoke?
there's no
That's
way.
what you draw the line to say.
You don't want that smoke?
No, but like I posed that
But he
question.
did say he was putting out him and Nicki was collabing, so maybe
Yeah,
he
they
was.
said, yeah, Nicki's-
Maybe he out here picking sides.
Come on.
Don't stop.
Nah.
I'm just asking. These are just listen.
just
These are
okay.
just questions.
No, I
man.
understand that, but no, I like to my point. Do you think if she continues on this streak of great features, great verses, is an album that important? If she continues to do this for the rest of the calendar year,
So one
is
thing
it
I
that
loved
important?
about Cardi's last album, which we don't get in these features, and I hope we get it on the album, is Cardi would tell her story in songs. You know, when you go back and listen to those records about how she came up, about getting out of strip club, about what school she went to, about hustling and grinding and trying to figure out her path and da-da-da. And obviously she's had tremendous success, so I don't know what the personal story would be today, whether it's about motherhood and balancing
because
motherhood.
it's all there. It's still
Yeah,
there.
there's still like a story for her. So I don't think she gets to give that more kind of, you know, on these features, she's just bugging and wilding and talking shit. But if you go back to that, what was that album called? Invasion of Privacy?
Invasion of Privacy, yeah.
There was records on there, it was really personal, which I thought was gonna be or I thought at the time and still think is the reason Cardi's had so much success, because she isn't just talking about, you
There's
know,
the vulnerable.
her WAP. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like she does those records too, but the album had a little bit more to it.
I look at what she's doing with these features, and I look at how she's putting her arm around all these younger artists that propels her to be like the new OG. You know what I mean? The one that says, I like her, I like what you're doing, and I'm gonna help you propel. Not worrying about her solo success, not worrying about what she's doing on her own, just I want these women to be next to me and where I'm at. And I look at it like maybe that's her focus. Maybe her focus is to bring the ladies closer together. Maybe her focus is to be more competitive, and I could be competitive, but I can still be your friend. I don't have to shade you to the side. I don't have to do X, Y, and Z. But so I don't really think the album is a necessity.
Yeah, her star is big enough that we could wait till next year, but also summer would have been an amazing time for a Cardi.
Right
album.
now would be a great time
It would
for a
be
Cardi B
perfect.
album. But I don't. If she stays on this current streak,
Yeah.
I don't think we don't really necessarily need a body of work.
Yeah. Speaking of ladies in the game, shout out to Coi Leray. I know she was getting some heat about the number of albums she sold or didn't sell, whatever, based on the number of hits she has on the radio. I find Coi Leray very entertaining. I think she made a great album. But I think the thing that, you know, her fans, her or anybody else, once again, to the kind of measurement of a Coi Leray, I don't think Coi Leray is an album artist yet. Unless you've made songs that's gonna compel someone to go, I wanna dig into your album, I already have your singles.
Right.
Or I want to dig into you as a person.
Or there's something
your
about
story.
you I
Yeah,
wanna learn
yeah.
more that you're gonna give
So
me in
we-
the album. And shout to this album, I listened to it because I sat with her. I was surprised. I was musically surprised. I was lyrically surprised. She's got a song in there about her relationship with her dad. That she goes into kind of like that whole dynamic. And I don't know if that's being presented as, you know, a strategy for people, her marketing and people to get to know her, right? Like, nobody's thinking about what's
and her
deep
father,
with
yeah.
her and her dad or what
Yeah.
she went through growing up. Like, I didn't know until I sat with her that she dropped out of high school and had to grind with her brothers because her relationship with her dad and her family was kind of on the rocks and they was figuring it out. Mom was working in a bar and, you know what I'm saying? So if you knew that about her, you might want to be like, yo, let me see what she does musically,
So
but I don't think that's...
Is her presentation as an artist hindering the public from even asking these questions? Like, because when you see Coi Leray, you see the beautiful, dainty, fun, musically inclined, you know, lyrically inclined pop artist, But we don't know that there's a darker, not darker side, but we don't know that there's
there's a real
layers to
story.
peel back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So do we blame that on the label? Is
I
it
don't know
her?
if it's a blame thing. I think it's a timing thing. I think it's a development thing. I think the way we meet people sometimes hinders our own desire to want to get to know them, right? Like we might just meet somebody nowadays you meet somebody as a TikTok artist, their song blows up, and the way they present on Instagram leads you down a path of kind of like judging what they may or may not be, right? Versus, I don't know if she's the conversation that I was able to have with her, if she's even having that conversation or comfortable having that conversation enough for people to go, oh shit.
There's something else.
There's something more to this person. Let me go dig in. So
because
I think
when we first got introduced to her, this issue with her father was happening, right? There was some blow up on social media, but I think at that point, she decided that she just didn't want to deal with it. I think she had a big record, she got a feature, I can't remember the name of the song right now. That was doing well, and in interviews, she just didn't want to deal with the family drama. So I think, to your point, maybe it's like it comes more in time. Like maybe people will visit this album and she'll feel comfortable sharing more and more of her stories. But I mean, on social, that's not been the thing she's been.
I mean, like you said,
promoting.
like it's not. It may not be the particular time to tell that story, or maybe she's not comfortable.
And maybe she's not trying to have her whole identity. I couldn't even say that. Tied to that.
Right.
Let's go to this clip now that was running around. What's it? It's All a Blur tour.
Yes.
Drake, 21 Savage. There's a point in Drake's show where he performs headlines, and then there's kind of like news headlines.
It's like a TikTok.
Yeah, like what's that called? A ticker?
Ticker.
Yeah, that's crawl around the edge of the stage. Up there, people caught on to the fact that he took shots at Childish Gambino's This Is America, which was in response to this video or interview with Childish Gambino talking about the origins of This Is America.
And I swear to God, like it was started as the idea for the song started as a joke. To be completely honest, like This Is America, like that was all we had. It started as a Drake diss, to be honest. It's like, I was like, as like a funny way of like doing it, but then I was like, this shit sounds kind of hard though, you know? So I was like, let me play with it. So we just had that.
So Childish Gambino said that This Is America was gonna be a joke diss to Drake. And then he said, but we didn't really have it fleshed out. And so we ended up making this song, which the song This Is America got popular because it was poignant.
Right.
It came out at an important time in current events, in society, having something to say, taking a position on America and its inconsistencies and racism and everything that he did with the music video.
In addition to the music video.
Yeah, the whole thing. That's what the song was.
Right.
Drake, obviously, in the crawl around the stage, is saying the song was
over-awarded
and overrated.
Overrated, yes.
Overrated.
Which is funny because 21 Savage is on that song, and that song got a Grammy. Young Thug is on that song. Migos were on that song.
As credited, right? They were credited
like ad-libs.
Yeah.
So that's just funny.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That the 21 Savage was on. I mean, it's funny. I love it.
Which part? Drake's
petty.
Being petty?
Yeah. I love that he's leaning all the way into it. Like, he didn't need to take it that far, but he did, so I think we should laugh about it. And I mean, doesn't this go all the way back to some issues over a lady, if I remember correctly?
What's the origin of their beef?
Okay, so I don't want to speculate then if it's not, but
I don't know.
Yeah, neither.
I thought there was like a woman involved, like an R&B singer, and that was like the tension between the two of them, and Gambino felt a way about it. Somebody back me up in the room. Does this sound right to you, or am I making this all up?
Leave a comment.
Okay.
We love a comment.
All right, that's what I thought. I should have fact-checked this before I sat down. Maybe
No,
I
don't
should
worry
do that
about it.
right
Don't
now.
worry about it.
I
You
thought-
might be onto something.
I thought that was the issue.
You're a credible journalist, so when you say things, you probably read it.
Oh no, great. And now it's gonna be just, I started a rumor here. All right.
Hey, listen, that's Nadeska. But let's just deal with what we know for a fact, which is Drake said that the song was overrated. A song that takes a position of social commentary with imagery and everything like that song did. I don't know if you could say it's overrated and overawarded. Right? Because you might not like the song. You might not think the song is well written or whatever. But it was important at the time, and it made people feel something about social commentary. And obviously, I'm biased because I like when an artist can do that. I don't know how I feel about Drake, who has never shown up. And y'all know I'm the biggest Drake fan on this show. Drake has never shown up to have anything to say about anything going on in society with black folks or anything. other than himself. So now you having an issue. I get you having an issue with Childish Gambino if what you're saying is fact. But fam, the song was supposed to be a joke diss. It didn't actually happen. So why are you in your feelings about it and taking shots at a song?
It was like 5 years late. Like, this song came out, what, 18, 19?
Yeah, but I think the Childish Gambino interview just happened a few months ago, so it's
Yeah,
still
so it's
relevant
only
in that
because he
context.
addressed it right
But
now.
I don't know, it didn't actually happen. Nothing actually happened.
Right. It's a little tricky for him to target this song, to your point, because we've had this conversation before, right? You know, artists like Kendrick are going to be the people to have that conversation and
Cole's gonna
address
have that
things. J. Cole's going to
conversation,
do it.
yeah.
Drake has never stepped his foot in those waters, and he may or may not never. So
And by the way, at this point, we're not expecting you to. That's
Exactly.
not.
I'd like, even
So I
if he
don't know if
does, I
that-
wouldn't give a fuck.
I don't know if that
Like,
crossed his
even if he
mind.
does attempt to, it's just like, bro, like,
That's not what you do.
you don't do that. And you waited this long to do it.
Yeah, you're one of the greatest
And
IG
it's-
caption rappers in history, which we're gonna get to his poetry book in a second. You're also one of the most successful rappers that we've ever seen.
That's
And
how we measure the
love you
bar.
for
Yeah,
that.
that's how we measure the bar
Yeah, we
of
love you
rap
for that.
success, and
Yeah.
that's cool. And if you don't choose to address social injustice, you know, the things that go on with police brutality, if you don't choose to address it, that's okay. But for someone that did, someone who caught that window and said, this is what people are thinking and they're feeling, I don't think it's kind of whack for you to say it's over.
Well, and the song's called "This Is America."
And you're not.
You're Canadian, bro.
He's wrong, but I still think it's funny that he put that shit up on the
Yeah,
ticker.
because it's Drake and he's
I
gonna be
respect
petty.
it.
No,
It's Drake.
yeah,
And here we
it
are
wa-
talking
it
about
was
it's
for
more
you,
promo for
yeah,
his
yeah, of
tour.
course.
Drake wins again.
I tell you, on that tour though, that hologram of Drake sitting next to young Drake,
that's
that shit
amazing.
is fire,
That's
bro.
actually that's a real
It's
person.
amazing.
Listen, I didn't even want to go to the tour. Now I want to go just to see that. And let's close out with Drake's poetry book.
I didn't read it, but it sounds fire. I want that.
See? Big
Birthday's
Drake fan.
coming up. Birthday's coming up. Hook me up. Like I was telling you guys, I think Drake has had the best lines for Instagram, social media captions since he dropped. So it makes
Goat
sense to
of
me.
IG caption
Fab
rap.
is up there. I keep telling you, Fab is up there, bro.
In recent times?
Not recent times, but you can listen to Fab's mixtapes. You can listen to Fab's.
But you're talking about me going back 15 years to listen to a mixtape for a current caption?
Don't do that. He's been out a little 15 years. That's good.
All right, thanks. Anyway,
That's good.
I would buy a Drake poetry book. He should have been putting one out with every album, in my opinion. The Drake coffee table books.
Just call it an IG book.
Nah, that's whack.
Like poetry, that's poetry.
Drake is so prolific, even his
Oh,
raps.
shut up, bro. Like, shut up.
What, man?
Like,
Yo, he's one of the goats, man.
This is why I can't take you to the show. I don't know how you would act.
Yeah, man, come on, man.
I went to the
Listen,
Drake would play one of his hits
I went to the
and he'll be
Migos
like-
joint. That shit was fire.
When the slander is apropos, I support the slander. Drake, when he puts pen to paper, poetry, emotion. When the words flow from Aubrey's mouth, poetry.
It's from the soul.
Bro, it's one line on each paper.
Magnifique. Chef's kiss.
It's a good marketing tool for his new album, All for Dogs, or was it?
I don't know, for
Is
my
the name?
dogs.
Oh,
Where my
for
dogs at?
all the dogs. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's the new album. That's
I
coming
like
out.
it. And maybe he knows his audience, you know, one line at a time.
Very simple.
Yeah.
simple
And
things.
it could double as an IG caption book. You need an IG caption,
Yeah.
you just flip through that book.
Like we said earlier, there are a lot of women who have set up
Why does
photos.
it only have to be women? I feel like his lines are pretty unisex, in my opinion. What are you
I'm
talking
just saying,
about?
I don't see none.
All right, I'm gonna make a list. I used to have like no in my notes app. I used to
Wow.
have like some liners.
I don't see
got
none.
you, bro.
I don't
got
see none
you.
of my
Man, that's why
putting
won't
Drake
come on
lines
the
on their
show,
IG
man.
caption. I don't
Yo,
see
where's
none of my doing that
Yo,
shit.
Drake, if you ever want to come on the show, we'll make sure Lo has a day off. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to deal with this. You will not have to deal with this. Before we wrap this week, we got to talk about the new music that you guys like or that I like. My favorite thing right now is the Killer Mike album, Scientists and Engineers. I also like Motherless. It's amazing. Shout to Aaron Allen Kane, sounding amazing. No ID on that album. Like a real body of work that Killer Mike put together, and I had the luxury of sitting down with him to talk about the album.
When you hear certain records, they just bring it out, and I say, okay, this is what I'm gonna lean into. I'm gonna lean into the influences of Curtis Mayfield, Isley's, and the church and gospel music that raised me. And what I found was it was truly a homecoming. Like I missed it. Man, I was raised by a God-fearing woman. And I spent so much time in the world that I lost sight. You know, I lost sight of who I was. I lost sight of my morals. I lost sight of what really mattered. And, you know, making this album, it brought me back. It brought me home. You know what I'm saying? I can't say I done jump at a church. You know, I can't even say I.
But you tapped in.
Yeah,
you
but
found,
I
you tapped in.
Yeah, I know God with me.
Really dope interview.
Thank you. At the Schomburg uptown. So Nadeska, what new heat you listening to?
I've actually been listening to the Young Thug and Gunna album a little. So, but my pick is gonna be from Cali. I believe she's from Atlanta, and she has a song called Area Codes, which is doing really well. It's interesting because like there's not much to the beat. It's just her rapping. I think she's actually pretty good, so I'm excited to see what else she drops. Although the weird thing, obviously for a lot of us who are a little bit older, I think we know the Luda song Area Codes was huge. Yeah. She said she'd never actually heard the song before, that this just kind of came about.
By the way.
Which is, I think she was like a year or two old when the song dropped, so it's possible.
She's standing on it. I seen her in real life and was like.
You asked about it.
Yo, for real, you never heard? She was like, nah, ain't nobody tell me. I was like, nobody in the studio you was recording, there was not one person. She was like, nah, ain't nobody said nothing until we was like about to shoot the video.
It's crazy.
Wow. Or so, I think it was, the video or the song was out or something like that.
So I mean,
she's standing on it.
I think a Luda remix would make sense now. He seems like the kind of person that he'll hear this and be like, that's coolish, just,
All day.
My new heat comes from Simba, featuring La Russells, called What a Feeling.
Yup.
And it's the song, just pretty much him talking about the gifts and the curses of being famous and actually having money and dealing with fame and the things that he used to deal with, but just putting it in perspective like, these are my new problems now. And La Russell drops another, a great introspective verse. So check that out. What a Feeling from Simba featuring La Russell.
And shout to Panama Bob in the comments. He says Gunna has album of the year. Fitty Vivo just wanted to say I was wrong about Uzi Vert. And then Stay Up 4661 and Ben Cromwell 707 loving the Killer Mike album. Got it on repeat. So shout out to everybody that leaves comments. And that's the Rap Life Review for Nadeska and Low. I'm Ebro. Subscribe where you're watching right now, and please add that Rap Life playlist available right now in Apple Music. Were you flexing your muscle just now?
No, I wasn't. No,
you was looking at your biceps. You been in the gym?
A little bit.
You been in the gym?
Every day.
Let me see. Flex for the people.
Let the side. Hope you enjoyed that episode of the Rap Life Review. I'm Nadeska, and you can catch me here every single week with Lowkey and Ebro. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing. Give us a like and drop a comment so we can hit you back next week.